Welcome to this installment of iPhoneZombies.com, where we're reviewing the Seidio case. It's actually called the Innocase 2. Innocase 2 is a very popular case. In fact, everything I've ever purchased or used from Seidio is just spot on. Let's get right to it. This is the case that it comes in, just a typical promotional case. This is not a retail case. You can see there's no latch there or a little hanger thing at the top. I bought this directly online from Seidio, and it's shipped promptly. Here's the case, and so it's available in several different colors. I chose black. What's really nice about this case is that for starters, it's got felt on the back. So this case, even though this case fits extremely tight and there's not really a lot of room for rubbing, they went ahead and they put felt lining on the back, which is really nice, so you avoid any accidental scratches. The other thing that I like is that they put the same felt down at the bottom, so they were considerate enough to do that. A couple things to point out on this case. It does have little tabs which help line it up and make it a little bit more stable, but be very, very careful about these tabs. Hopefully you can see those while you're watching this video. Those tabs are wafer thin, and if they break off, you will definitely lose some of the integrity of the case. So the case slides onto the iPhone ever so smoothly. I mean, it's a hard case. The plastic's actually got a tacky outside. On the inside it looks shiny, so they must apply something to the outside, but it's also somewhat flexible, which is really nice. So the case slides right in, and literally when it's done sliding in, you know it's in because it just locked right into place. It's spot on. On the back side, and I'm using the white iPhone so you can really see where the openings are here. There's an opening for the Apple. You know, it's about half and half. Half the people dig this, the other half the people don't like it. I do wish, and if Seidio is watching this, hopefully Seidio will go ahead and give an option to block that off, because a lot of people say they don't buy this case because of that opening. Anyways, the bottom slides on equally as tight, and case goes on extremely smoothly, but you got to be really careful. Those tabs have to line just right up, and so you just want to go real slow. This is not a case that you want to rush. You just want to slide it in there, and when it's on, it's on. So once it's on, it's now on. It's locked into position. It is not going to come off. In fact, the only way to get this off, you can't really pry this up, is really, for me, is to stick my fingernail in there, because you don't want to stick something sharp, and kind of just gently pry it apart. The reason you want to do that rather than forcibly pull it is because the very first time I did that, this little piece right here, when I pulled it off, I was putting so much pressure pulling it that I kind of collapsed it and this little piece bent. So just for everybody watching this, be careful. Do not try to pull it apart like this, because if you do, you will bend that up and you will deform that, and eventually it'll become worthless, this little piece right here, which protects the ridge. What I like about the case, if you take a look, is that it completely hides the chrome bezel, so there's no chrome. It sticks up ever so slightly, not as high as some. Some people like a little bit higher bezel. This one's got a slight bezel, so you don't scratch it when you put it down on the table. It does fit extremely tight. There is no wiggle room at all. Going around the case, you have your opening for your power button. Now, what is nice is that even though it's not covered under some sort of membrane, it is recessed because of the case, so it's a little bit more difficult to push on and off. They've made the opening a little larger, which is nice, because if you want to hit it from the back, hit it from the front, you can go ahead and do that. You don't have to just go straight down. There's plenty of opening around the headphone jack, so you can use a 90-degree plug. I know a lot of people like to use those as opposed to the ones that stick straight out, so there's ample room. On the side, they left it a little bit big for my taste. It's not covering the volume up and down, and most hard cases don't do that, but it's a little too big for my taste. It should be a little bit closer, making it a little bit more difficult to press these. Obviously they have to leave that open so you can switch it up or down. Going to the bottom of the case, they left ample room for the microphone, the speaker, and for the dock. Again, this is a hard case, so what you're going to want to do is find a a docking station with a little longer plug because it sticks out a little at the bottom. It's very flush, but it does stick out a little bit. I do have an older docking station which was designed for the older style iPods, and this will work in it with the case on. But some of the newer stuff has a lower tolerance and it won't fit because the case is a little thick. It's not as thick as some out there, but it's not as thin as some of the really wafer thins. This is a very nice case. It feels very durable. It will give you, I'm sure, years of satisfaction. The other thing around this is look at how well they did this space back here. Around the lens, it is amazing how tight it is. You can see just the chrome around it. You can't even make out hardly any of the white. It does not interfere at all with video or with photography. This case was well designed. They knew what they were doing when they built this case. You can go to our website, iPhoneZombies.com, and there's a link there to Seidio's website directly to these cases, and if you want to pick one up. But highly recommend it. This case gets a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The only thing I would have thought they could have improved was this design back here. It really locks on super tight, which is great. There's just no real easy way to get it off. And if they had an option that I could order this case without this in the back, I would have given this a 5 out of 5. But this is a really good case. You'll be really happy with it. Again, if you want to go get one of these, go to our website, iPhoneZombies.com, and we've got direct links to the manufacturer on there. Thanks for viewing.